I am going to go here onto my Facebook. That's
Okay.
why I'm blacked out right now. Not I haven't been drinking, everybody. Those are the old days. Editing the
It's
privacy.
been a long time since I've been blacked out.
Right, right. That's where, yeah, I relate to you on that.
Oh.
Okay. So, hey, everybody, thanks for joining in on Friday the 13th. This is so awesome. We have Izzy, the Zodiac Enchantress, with us. Um, I have some sage here, and I burn sage and smudge in the way of Lakota Native American. Um, the science behind that uh, actually blocks particles in the air from any negative energies that may be trying to get in the way of this sacred medicine that she embodies and social protection. All my relations. So here we go. So and we are live.
Yay.
Yeah. So my screen, Izzy, it'll come back. So
Okay.
this is Izzy, everybody, the Zodiac Enchantress, and the title. Yes, it's shocking, but we will get to that. Um, I do like to honor the way that people come in, especially someone with the magic that embodies the energy of magic, such as Izzy, with a tarot reading. And I have the temple, uh, which I pulled from an archetype deck. And so the temple, I'm going to click my cam off for a second while I read. The temple, when it's a sanctuary, a shrine, the altar. When we think of the temple, we often envision an archetype structure in a far off land. We are quick to distance ourselves from the sacred, assuming we must expend much effort in order to arrive there. Yet there is the temple, a universal and omnipresent energy, accessible in the highest and lowest and richest and poorest of places. Visiting the temple might be as simple as stepping into a dappled light of the forest, slowly and sensuously kissing a lover or closing your eyes to travel inward. This card is a call to re examine what you pay homage to, what you reject, what you do spend your time worshiping, your phone, money, material goods. What barriers do you draw between yourself and the sacred? Perhaps there is room on your altar for something new, something surprising, something to offer to the heavens. So, all right, we so to offer to the heavens, I feel like this podcast is episode with
Oh my
Izzy is.
god.
Are you okay? Salute, salute, salute.
Someone's thinking of me.
Ay, ay, ay.
It was two sneezes. Sorry. My bad.
See me right on the screen?
Hmm?
Can you see me on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, it's just my side's being weird. All right, so yeah, so we as we all know, the body is the temple. They say I
Mhm.
have my energetic temples in frequency and honored in many different cultures and ways, and so does Izzy. And I purely, unconditionally uh, respect and honor your path that has been given to you in your life, whether you chose it or not, or had no choice at all at some point. So that's why, and I pulled this card earlier from the archetype deck, and it just happened to line up. So I put that together. And thank you for offering your temple, your wisdom, your magic with us to the world. Um, so grateful. Wopila, wopila. That's eternal gratitude in Lakota Native America. Thank you so much. It's such an honor and such a blessing to be able to be here with you. Um, so if you see the title, it says Ice Deports. the Zodiac Enchantress. Such a powerful freaking. I want to say the F word so bad. Such a, you know what I'm saying? I want to say it so
Don't
bad.
say it. Don't say
Yeah,
it.
it's such a powerful freaking title, man. And it's like it's not like I almost didn't want to do that title because there's so much pain, there's so much suffering, there's so much trauma that you went through and for no reason, but you overcame it with grace, with glory, with you were victorious. But before we get to like your magic and what you do with the Zodiac Enchantress, um, you have a website and a page and all that stuff. We'll get to that. Um, I've known you for what, like 5 years now, huh?
I
2020.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I was back living off of like in Texas and Dallas, like off of Harry Hines area over there. I remember. So yeah, so we linked up somehow. All I remember is you used to have a picture of you hugging a tree, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's fam, that's homegirl right there." And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, ICE, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, um, they came on their mission, right? Everyone has a mission, so they came on their mission to deport Izzy back to Mexico. And I'm like, what? Because
What?
Izzy, didn't you go to high school in Texas?
Yeah. I went to Arlington High in Arlington, Texas. Um. Hold on. Before I continue, I'm trying to share the link, but
Yeah.
it's not letting me.
Oh, which link?
This one.
You have to do it through the Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, now I see why. Oh, my bad.
Yeah. No, they're not nothing. Yeah, so
Yeah, okay. It
you
wasn't letting me. It was so weird. I was like, why is it not letting me?
you go ahead and do what you got to do. We can share later too. Anybody feels free to call to share this very vulnerable freaking message. And she's such a leader for stepping up. Share this. Share this for the exposure of the awareness and awakening of what's really going on around here. So while you do that, I'm gonna play this
Yes, go for
throat chakra bowl. So both it'll allow both of us to open up our throat chakras and talk about some really vulnerable stuff. So
it. Okay, so
Nor
I think the reason it's not letting me share is because you have your settings as friends.
I should
Yeah, it's like it says friends. So even if I click on the share thingy on my profile, it kicks me out. Like I guess it doesn't let me share, you know?
I see you. I got you.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we'll play this throat chakra bowl
Hmm.
and we'll open up those energies. So I'm gonna edit privacy to public.
Yes, please.
Yes, I got you. For some reason it switched back. See, that's what I'm telling you. I gotta resage those freaking the meta goblins be trying to get us over here, dude. Um,
I sneezed like 3 times.
salute, salute, salute. Okay, okay.
I have one too, by the way.
Oh, do you wanna use that one? I've never seen something like that.
It's just like it's not like a fork, but it sounds like one. Like it's a little angel.
Oh, nice.
It's very soft.
Yeah, I can hear. I have my headphones on.
Oh.
Very, very ethereal and. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
What frequency is that? Do you know?
I don't even know. I just bought it at this esoteric store, and I just got drawn to like the little angel and then the rose quartz.
Wow. Yeah, it's the shiny object syndrome. I would have bought that too.
I don't know like what sound it is 'cause she didn't tell me. I just bought
Mm-mm.
it, but I know
It
it's like a good one. You know.
no, totally. It looks like it almost feels like the five. the 528 miracle frequency.
Mm,
You'd only think it was if it was an angel, right? So I have the throat chakra. We're gonna open up the the throat here so we could speak our truth.
speaker truth.
Yes. Okay. All right. So if y'all are tuning in, we're back to back to this is Izzy, the Zodiac Enchantress. She lives down in Mexico, and I've known her since 2020, and we connected and back then, and it was wild, and it got even wilder for her. I was like, "Oh, cool! Here's a new homegirl, a new friend that gets it," and then all of a sudden, boom! Ice comes and deports her, and I'm like, "I don't understand." Because you just said you went to high school in Agtown and Arlington. You had a job there. You were working. Like what is the deal? And how you like I've been to jail and I know some of your story. I've been in cages where you can't get out, but I remember you posting something about when they took you. What did that look like? Like I'm imagining like SWAT team banging down the door and like dragging you out and doing like what did it look like?
Okay, are you asking like there's two ways. Are you asking like when I got detained or when I got sent to the immigration center? Because it's actually two different things.
Do you want to explain both?
If you want to listen.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, heck yeah. I had no clue what it looks like except for in my visionary head. So,
Okay.
and I'm sure other people are interested too. I know some others are, especially in the La Raza community out here, um, in Denver. So yeah, go ahead, speak your truth.
Okay, so technically what happened, hold on, let me just fix this real quick. I'm almost done. I had to like do all these things.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
There's
multitask. I
there's
get
one
it.
there and that's it. So technically what happened or how I landed in jail, because that's the first thing that happens. You go to jail. Was that I got arrested for a DWI, and
Mm.
the way that happened was I had gone out with a guy friend, or not even a friend. It was just a guy that I had gotten to know for a little bit. Um, and somehow I blacked out for like 4, 5 hours. I don't
Fuck.
remember anything. The only thing I remember was waking up in the car, in my car that I had, and everything was like blurry. Like if you were waking up from a nap and you're just like, whoa, like what's happening, right? And all I saw was like flashing lights, and it was two cop cars behind me,
Mm.
and then
I know that.
on the side was a the firefighters. So imagine you just kind of like waking up out of a dream, and then you see all these lights, and you're like, what the fudge happened, right?
Right.
So I knew that I had drank that night, but not excessively where I would have been like that I blacked out. So my theory, because I never got the ability to prove it, was that my drink got spiked. But
Mm.
since I wasn't able to prove it because I got detained, and then my mom, she didn't know how to go about it. Like, she didn't know how to go about the case. She didn't know nothing about my friends. My mom was just someone that she would just see me come in and out of the house. So it's not like she was aware of what I was doing or where I was at or who was my friends. She didn't know. She just knew that I was
Right.
constantly out. So when she got to like fight my case, she didn't know how, or she didn't know to who to go to because she had like no clue. um,
Right.
in a way, it didn't help me. It did not help me to have a lot of friends and a lot of people, because that made the case more harder on her, because she had to be the one to step in and be like, okay, what, so who can I text and who can I ask? And she didn't know anything. So it was very difficult from there. The second part would be I ended up staying in Lusterit for like a week. And in that week, I swear, it was like the most insane hell for me.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Lusteric is like the wildest Dallas County jail in Texas. It's like you do not want to go there.
You have an image of what jail could be like or what it's gonna feel, but when you're there and it's reality and it kicks in, you're like, fudge, this is not what I was expecting.
Right.
This is not what I was um picturing in my mind. So Lusterit for me was kind of like crazy. I think the main thing that traumatized me was the lights being on 24/7.
Oh
So
yeah, I hate that.
I lost track of time and I lost track of like my reality. And I was like, I don't even know what day it is. Like, it just feels like it's time is passing by so slow. So
Right.
it was hell.
No, totally. I get that. I was in Funky Town, so like those lights, I remember I tried to cover it up with a blanket one time
Yes.
in Fort Worth, and the guard comes in and whoops my butt to the ground. You can't put the cover up the lights. I'm like, "Ah."
I
But
did. I did put the cover in like all over me.
yeah,
The first night I did because I was crying, and then the rest of the week I did not cry. It's almost like my body went into like extreme survival mode, and my feelings went numb, so I could be able to survive what I was experiencing. I did not cry for like the whole process until almost like 2 weeks before I left the US. So imagine like your body being so traumatized, your nervous system, where it starts to suppress your feelings, and you're just kind of like figuring out what's happening, but you're not feeling. Um,
mm,
which that led to a lot of problems now.
right,
But
right. It's like you compartmentalized everything and while you were in there, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
So from the stare, I was there for like a week, and then I actually got kind of sick from those little shots they give you. So they sent me to medical because they were like I had an allergy, something like that, and I was in medical for 7 days by myself, alone. No, I didn't have like a bunkie friend. I had nothing,
Mm,
by myself for 7 days. So it kind of felt
yep.
like sent to isolation. That was hell.
Oh
Again,
yeah, I know that one.
I'm just like, oh my God, somebody come bother me. Somebody come and put a TV or something. There was no TVs. There was nothing. It was just like like four empty spaces, and you're just looking at the walls all day for 24 hours for 7 days straight. I swear,
Right.
insane in that place. I had
Yep.
myself stories like in my mind for hours, so I would not lose my sanity of just staring at walls. And they would come and check on me, but it's not like we're talking or we're engaging. Plus the anxiety of what's going to happen, what's going to happen with me, does my family know that I'm here? Like, you have anxiety meeting boredom, and it's like complete chaos because you can't do anything but just wait.
Wow. What a way to explain it. That's a, whew, Claro, that's like right on, dude. Like, so what did you do? Like, I mean, I know what I did during those times. I mean, I played with the Bible like a tarot deck and,
They
and
didn't give me no books. They didn't give me no books. They didn't
no
give me
books?
Bibles. No, nothing.
Oh, dang.
I was talking to myself for like a few hours, and then I would force myself to sleep for like the next 7, 8, 9 hours. So I would stay up all night, so it would go faster, and then I would be talking to myself, like telling myself stories, and then the next 7, 8, 8, 9 hours, I would sleep, like sleep to avoid being awake, so it would
Right.
go faster. Um, but eventually, after 2 weeks of being there, I signed so I could be released. Um, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the way things happened in that place, I believe that everything was against me. Everything.
Mm.
as in, it was not my fate to stay. It was not my
To
fate to
stay?
stay.
What do you mean to stay? To stay in Texas?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
not my fate to stay. It was not my fate to get out like successfully. Everything was like, no, like, you're not staying. You have to leave the US. You have to. And I think that's when I realized that it wasn't like based on luck or like beliefs. It was more based on destiny. Like, it was my destiny to exit the US. At that moment, I did not understand why. I just knew that all the opportunities, the little ones I had, they were like shut down completely. Um, Cause funny enough, like, the reason that nobody knew that I was there, nobody knew I was there for like a week.
right.
They found out I was there, like, starting the second week. So it took me like 10 days. It took my family 10 days to find me because
Wow. Yeah.
I was so scared to call my mom.
That part,
I was so
right?
scared. So imagine you're in jail and you're like, I can't call my mom or anyone because I'm ashamed, because this is what exactly my mom told me that was going to happen if I didn't stop drinking. So instead of
Mm.
me saying, let me call my mom, let me tell her to come pick me up, I was like, I can't call her. I can't. So I waited to see if they would release me and then I would go home. But the waiting just turned
Right. Right.
against me. It turned against me because then the more I waited, the more everything started to shift against me. Um, so this is like what, day 10. I went to the court and I was like, I'm not guilty, but at this, they're like, plead guilty, not guilty. I was like, not guilty. And then from there, they were like, well, if you do sign, you have to go to an immigration center. And I was like,
Mm.
okay, so can I fight my case over there? And they're like, yeah, sure, you can fight your case. It's easy. If you stay here, you're going to have to wait longer and you're going to have to get a lawyer. And I was like, damn, that sounds kind of crazy. So
Mm.
I believed the lawyer that they put me in that moment. And I was like, can I call my mom before I sign so I can tell her what's going on? And he was like, yeah, sure, but fast. So
Oh.
he had a flip phone. He didn't
Uh.
have an iPhone or like, Samsung. He had like those old flip phones where you
Right.
could press the buttons.
Yeah.
So I was trying to press the buttons and they would start to squish together like the numbers. And I'm like,
Oh no.
on, I have to go back. He got impatient with me and he was like, he snatched the phone. And
What?
like, yeah, he did. He was an old man. So he
Uh,
the phone and he was like, sorry, we have to go in now because there's other courts and there's other things. And I was like, fuck.
yeah, dude. What the? That's
From that moment, I knew that I was fucked. Like, straight out, I was fucked. I was like, well, if even if I sign or don't sign, the immigration is going to come pick me up because this is it. Like, I can't stay in jail anymore. They have to do something with me. And since my mom doesn't know where I'm at, my family doesn't know, it's like they get a hold of me and they have to take me out. So that's exactly what happened. I pleaded not guilty. And then that same night, ICE came to my cell and they were like, pack your stuff. You're leaving. And I was like, oh wow, I'm leaving. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus.
oh
Four
no.
white walls. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
yeah, Jesus is showing up.
But I was like, here comes the second part of hell.
Oh man.
That was the
Okay.
first part. That was the first part. The second part was arriving after I left. And the bad part was, again, nobody knew where I was. I didn't call my mom. I tried to call her before I signed and it just wasn't meant to be. Um I find out that my family actually went to visit like the jail that
Right.
the next day when I got picked up.
Oh, it's like bam,
They
man.
they found me and they went and they were like, "Hey, where's this person?" And they were like, "She's already going to immigration."
That's
because I had signed. So I was like, yeah, that's how you know when it's not meant to be for you. Like,
it's almost like there was some force that's
yeah,
unseen, or right, that part.
mhm,
Yeah,
yeah, maybe
that it.
force that didn't want me to get out. But if we're comparing forces,
Mm,
which one's the higher? Which one's the strongest?
right, and that's tricky. I could see for you at that point because it's like here you are now getting taken by immigration, and they're about to take you to Mexico, right?
Well,
And
immigration was a whole nother story. I was there for 4 months.
what did that look like?
That was something else. Honestly, I saw it like a boot camp of girls and
Yeah.
a boot camp that was very dramatic because
Whoa.
everyone there was eventually after a few weeks, women they start to experience all these emotions and all these intense feelings, and then you're in one place crammed in there. You start to want to lash out. So I think that what a lot of women experienced in that room, in that place, was they didn't want to leave the US, but because of all the drama, all the intensity, they were like, I'd rather leave than stay here. And that's what
Mm.
happened with a lot of the people that I got to be friends with. They were like, I'd rather leave than to be in this place because of all the drama that happened in there. And I was just like, yeah, this place can mentally fuck you up to the point that you don't want to wait for your case. You don't want to figure out if you can stay or leave. You just want to go home. You just want to exit.
Like no matter what, it doesn't matter where I'm going, just get me out, right?
Yeah.
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 Dang. So my vision was almost right. Like Claro dead on, like clarity, like I'm like I didn't know that part. Like I gotten many DUIs, that's why I don't partake in those lifestyles anymore either. But that a boot camp, like mixed with jail and all that, that's
It felt like a boot
whoa.
camp because it was like a bunch of girls in a bunk. In like it was like two rows, actually one row of beds, and then the other row, and then up down up down up down. So it looks like a little boot camp that you go and you're like staying with friends type of vibe. But the bad thing was that we were all just in one space, and
Like caged in, huh?
yeah, and we did go out,
Wow.
but it was like an hour max.
So it was basically like those bunk room jails, but in a boot camp version. Well, that's like I bet
Yeah,
I was in one of those in LA County and Los Angeles, just like bunk after bunk after bunk,
yeah,
like brrr, and it's just like, but that's basically went from jail to jail, but it's called immigration now, boot camp. Okay,
yeah.
whatever.
It was
Yeah,
it was called Prairie Land Immigration Center, and honestly, I did not have a bad experience there. Everything was decent compared to Lister. Lister
okay.
was the worst. I was like, the
Yeah.
food was crap. I could not stand those bologna sandwiches.
Oh
I
no.
was like, I will never, until this day, 6 years later, have never touched no damn bologna sandwich ever.
No, me,
I'm
I get
so
no, no,
disgusted
no.
by it. I'm like, ew.
I feel that, dude. I can never. I don't care like how hungry. If I'm about to die, I ain't touching bologna. I
I
feel
was
that.
like, here you go, eat my sandwich. I don't want it. I don't want it. It's so gross. I did try it like the first few days. I was like, I can't eat this. I don't know how people would eat that. No.
I get that. I feel 100, man. That's yeah. So that's interesting. So you stayed in the boot camp in immigration section for like 4 months. You said.
Yeah, I entered. So I got arrested January 13th.
Wow, and it's the 13th today. Imagine that. Like, dude, we didn't really plan this. It's kind of just happened, like, because
Yeah,
Meta's been messing with us, dude. It was like
yeah,
you were trying to go live, and I was trying to text you, DM you, and you were like, I can't go live. I can't do this either. And then we're like, why don't we just do this on the 13th? That was not planned. That is divine
divine.
synchronicity right there.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
I'm being serious. It was January 13th. I got booked in, and then I got charged on the 14th, which was a Sunday morning. Um, and then I went to the immigration like 2 weeks after that. So pretty much starting like February type of vibe. Yeah. And then I exited May 11. So yeah, it was like 4 months.
Wow. Okay. So then, when did they put you on a bus and drive you down, or?
They put all of us because it was man and woman together. They were taking us to that place. They put us in a bus. From the jail, they took us to Homeland Security, and that's where they got all the fingerprints. So we were doing all of this, like all of this.
Yeah.
They took our pictures, and then they were like, if you guys need to make phone calls, make a phone call. And then they would put us in the isolated like rooms. So it was like a room where all the women were waiting for to figure out what was going to happen to them. Some of them were already being deported right there, and then some of the other women, they were being given opportunities to like go home, pack their stuff, and then exit on their own. And then the other ones were waiting to be delivered to Prairie Land Immigration Center. And the same thing
Wow.
for men. They were also in another room waiting. So we were just waiting there for everybody to get their prints done, their pictures done. They were asking questions like you have family here, like how long you've been here. Like they're trying to figure everything out so they could write it down and put it in computer. After that, they put us in a bus, and it was like a school bus. It was like a school bus, and they took us to El Laredo, Texas, which is where the immigration center is at. And I think that was the most peaceful I felt after 2 weeks of being in jail with like no sun.
Mm.
Not seeing the sun, not seeing sunlight, not seeing anything but four walls and then the light on all the time. That kind
Mm-hmm.
of traumatized me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I
So,
feel that.
so when I started to like see the people, it was like a miracle. When I started seeing the cars pass by, like we were exiting the roads, I was like, oh my god, this feels fake. It doesn't feel real. I can't believe that for 14, yeah, 14 days, I was in a weird spot, and now I'm here and I'm able to see the sky and the colors.
Yeah. You like appreciate nature like
Yes,
100 times, million more
I
once you
was
get to, huh?
appreciating everything. I was like, oh my god, I'm so happy to even look at the people drive and the buildings. We went through Dallas, so we were exiting Dallas and going to El Laredo.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you one thing
Right.
before I go there. When we were exiting Dallas, I said to myself, "This is not goodbye. I'll be back." I literally said,
Mm.
I said that. And I was not into these things like tarot, spirituality. I wasn't into any of that at that time. I just believed in God and that's it. But
Right.
I was in a very chaotic energy. So it was like, all right, I believe that's it, you know? I literally
Right. That
I said that as I was seeing the buildings. I'm like, this is not goodbye. I'll be back. I'll see you soon. Or I'll see you later.
that's like that foxhole beauty. That's that moment where, and like we all have that moment where that sparks. That's where like whatever it is, it's just like something greater than me, some energy, something exists, something that's more powerful than me, and that was it for you, huh? Right there.
Yeah. That moment I was like, I don't care how long it's going to take me. I don't care what's going to happen. I know that I have a tough road ahead of me, but I'm going to be back. I know I am. How? I don't know. I just feel it.
Right, and I remember there was one of your friends tried to get a GoFundMe raiser for you back in the day. It didn't get much money, like not like
Actually,
not.
this was last year.
Oh, this was last year. Okay, like that's like back in the day to me. I'm like thinking like,
Yeah, back in
okay,
the. Hmm.
yeah. So it's crazy. Like I want you to keep telling your story, but I did create a GoFundMe fundraiser for you now that you're like capable of legally getting back to see your family
Yeah.
and You can manifest that legitly, like legalistically through the laws of immigration, which I have looked since I've been traveling back and forth to Mexico and studying like visas and dual citizenships and this and that and like how to like even ajito laws and all this stuff and like it's expensive, dude, to even like you
Yep.
it's freaking blew my mind. Like I'm like, dude, this should be easy, like 150, but no, man, you're talking like like you're talking like down there it's like mil pesos, but like that's thousands here, and I'm like, holy crap, dude, this ain't as easy as I thought. Like there's many ways to do that. So I felt a deep sense of like compassion for you. So I did build a GoFundMe fundraiser for you that I can post if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Bob showed up. It said, "I love you." Um, and I'll post that. If anyone does want to donate to help you to uh, get back to Dallas and your familia and your family there, that's freaking. I mean, that's something I would donate to, and I already have. So. Uh, anyways, so what? Back to your story. That was your like aha moment that something bigger than me, greater than me exists. And here we go. It's Izzy. She's not the Zodiac Enchantress yet so much, but she's about to go into the indigenous lands of Mexico, so
Yes.
say, on an immigration bus. Later, Dallas. We'll see you, Triple D. Texas, Tejas, hasta luego. Like, what's going on in your brain? Like, as you enter the La Frontera in the border,
Yeah, I think so. After being in the immigration center for like 4 months, and I confronted the judge. He he technically was like, "We have no proof that your drink was spiked, so I'm gonna go based off the facts, which is that you had alcohol in your system, and therefore you have a DUI, and we can't do nothing about it, and that's against the law, and blah blah blah." So he was like, "Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to deport you." And I was like, in that moment when he told me that, I was just like, okay, all right, like, all right. I had processed a week before. I already felt it in a way that I wasn't gonna stay, and I got very sad. I got very like heartbroken in that moment. So
right, right.
just a whole week where I just stayed in my bunk. I did not leave the bunk. I was crying in the bunk. And it's like all these feelings would come through. I did not know why I was feeling sad. I just, some people feel things before they happen. I think that was me. And when he told me that, I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Like, take me to Mexico. I'm ready. There's no reason for me to be here anymore. I
Mm.
want to leave now. So that was on a Monday. And then on Friday, that's when I got called to check out. And I felt such a relief. I was so nervous. I was so nervous. I was like, oh my God, I'm finally leaving. I'm finally exiting. It's been 4 months of hell where my anxiety has been like up and down, up and down. But I learned so much in that space that I'm like, it's a experience I I appreciate so much, but it was hell.
Yeah, but yeah, for me, dude, like if I'm putting myself in your shoes as a guy, as a man, as a woman, it's so much different. Obviously, I can't relate as a woman. I've never been in this position, but like being in like the LA County jails, I just picture myself in a bus like that, going across the border. I never can come across this imaginary line again because of the color of my skin and my ethnicity. I'd be kicking and screaming like a little boy. Like, I went to freaking Arlington High School. What the fuck, dude? Like, y'all are crazy. Like, I wish I
I
was.
told my mom, I did tell her, I'm like, I am never getting deported. What are you talking about? I had DACA, so I was a dreamer. I had my permit for the 2 years, which was 2020 going to 2020. No, sorry, it was like 2017 to 2018, and then it got renewed 2 more years. I had just gotten my renewal in November. So imagine I got my renewal of DACA, which is to study legally and to work legally in the US. And then 2 months later, it got revoked because of the DWI. And
Oh, that's
paid
okay.
I paid money for that. I paid $1,000 to get that renewal for 2 years. So it was kind of like a slap in the face for me because it was like, there goes all my money just to get it, just so I can get deported. What the fudge?
Yeah, there goes $1,000 to
It
deport
was a
me. Like,
thousand. Yeah.
dang, like that's what I'm saying. It's like you can't make this stuff up, dude.
No.
Like, um, whew. Oh
But
man. So what? So here you are going into Mexico on the bus, immigration bus. Like what? Like I remember getting out of jail. I had nothing but like what I had on my clothes, my body, and my pocket. Like whatever I was wearing is all I had. So what did you have with you?
okay. So when I was being checked out from the immigration center, they just gave me what I had, like you said. So that night that I got arrested, it was really cold because we're talking about January. So it was really cold. And I was
Mm.
like, should I wear a dress or should I wear like a tracksuit type of vibe?
Oh no, what did you wear?
Hesitated. I hesitated. Like I was like, I really want to wear a dress, but if it's cold, I'm gonna be shivering and I'm gonna be like struggling to walk in the areas. So
Yeah.
I took the pants and I took the sweater and
Oh,
and like a very nice shirt. So
nice.
funny enough, I got my clothes back and they're like, here you go ahead and change and then get on the bus. So I put on my pants and my sweater and I was
Thank God you didn't wear
God I
that
wore this.
dress, dude.
Thank God
Dang.
for this because I imagine being on like a small like tight dress and no, it would have been
So
messy.
many things. That's a whole rabbit hole right there, dude.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. Wow. So I know exactly where you're at, that feeling of getting out with just whatever is on your clothes when you came in your
I was
pockets.
this close to wearing a dress, but like a tight dress to just to go out and then come back home. Who would have known?
You didn't freezing. Things could have happened projected at you. Wise, like it could have been horrible. Thank God you did not wear that dress. So here you are in your tracksuit, so your Dallas tracksuit. Uh,
Yeah.
hello spirits.
What?
She says, "Hello spirits, message me please. Later, I'm gonna put up a GoFundMe if you want to support her journey to visit family back."
Okay.
Um, I don't. You can see me on the screen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can.
for some reason, I can't see myself. I guess it's telling me to work on my vanity.
I can
I
see you.
no dress tonight, Jason. No, I'm just playing. So, I love that we can laugh about this.
Yeah.
That you can, because especially you can, because that says you have triumphantly overcome and broken through trials and tribulations and things that were sent to break and tear and shatter you down to pieces. Like
Mhm.
talk about like an emo song times a billion. Right. Okay. Here we are. Like, bring me the horizon and then throw it under the water and let it sink. There's Izzy for you right there, coming into Mexico with whatever she came out of Luz County Jail in Dallas for drinking and having the color of her skin. I still don't to this day get that, and I 100% don't. I disagree with it. And it's imaginary line stuff. All I think of is Johnny Depp when he's in court in the movie Blow, and he's like talking about what? Oh, it's just an imaginary line, you know, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. So here we are. I love to laugh. Okay, so here we are. So you're going on the bus. Where are they taking you?
So they it's like they had a bus and this bus was where they put the men in the back and the girls in the front. So that night it was just me and another girl. It was just us two. We were getting
Wow,
that same night and then there was like 4 or 5 guys
that's got to
also.
be a little scary for a
Uh
woman, huh?
well, not really because there was like a big like not a fence but in a way, yeah. It's like they separate us with this little fence. So they're back there, we're in the front, and then we have the cuffs on. So we have cuffs on all the way until we get released at the border. And then we had the officers that were driving us. We
Oh, so
left.
you got private escort officers. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we left at midnight, like straight out at midnight.
Wow.
We got onto the bus. Everything was dark, so you couldn't see anything. You couldn't see like the houses or anything that was around. It was all dark. And I just got in the bus and I was like, here we go. Here we go. I'm excited. I'm scared. I'm more curious of how it's gonna be, but I'm just more wanting to see just like what's next. And the girl that was next to me, she was also like kind of scared, but we were kind of more just excited that we were leaving. And
Right.
before we left, I used to do prayer groups inside the immigration center, and I was one of the main, funny enough.
Of
I
course you
was one
were.
of the main girls to like set up the praying groups, and I would be like, let's get our Bibles, let's create the circles, and let's do this and let's do that. So I was one of the main, and there was like two, three other girls that would also do it. But that night, there was a lot of new, there was like 10 girls that arrived. There was a lot of new people, like new girls were arriving the entire week. So that night, all these girls came into the space that we used to do like the Bible reading, yeah, readings, and
I remember
they were like in a circle. I counted, it was like 10, like 10, 11 girls. And I was like, our circles are usually like five or six. Like, where do these girls come from? And that night, the other girls, they were explaining that I was leaving. I was the only one leaving that night. So they were like, let's pray for Izzy.
that.
She's leaving tonight. And you could see like their faces. They were
There,
scared.
there goes our leader.
Well, not
No.
really the leader, but
Yeah.
one of the main, you know. But the girls that had just arrived, they looked at me like, "Oh my God, she's living in Port Her and this," because they had just arrived. So it's like, oh shit, she's leaving to Mexico. Like what? Like
But the
she didn't
fact
know
that
this.
yeah, I get that part to some degree, but the fact that you were the one that stepped up to run those circles, I remember those circles in jail, and there's always someone that stands up and like has the book on morning meditation. Everyone circle up. We're gonna praise
Yeah,
God, and we
I would do like I did the Easter, the what's it called? Uh, my brain is not braining right now. It wasn't
like,
the Easter, not the Easter day, but like the where he rises.
oh, where Jesus rises, the
Mhm.
resurrection.
So I did the ceremony. I planned it and I organized it, and we all gathered together and we celebrated it there.
Wow. So this is where you start to become like in your power of finding who you are, but you're not really knowing it yet, kind of maybe.
I didn't know it because, like I had said, I was connected to God and like stuff like that, but I wasn't aware. I was more just like, okay, he exists and I know he's real, but that's it. I wouldn't do anything. I would just be doing other stuff, like avoiding my emotions, drinking, like going out excessively. So I was never able to like connect like that. And that's the first time that I actually felt my third eye tingle.
Wow. I mean,
Oh, tingle, like
that's
here.
yeah, that's for real. Like that's
It got
like
scary. I was like, what is this? Why am I feeling tingling?
uh
It's like after we're praying and we're closing our eyes, I would feel it so strong. It would creep me out. So I was like, like stop. Mm,
yeah, that's one of those other turning points for you for sure. I mean, we have my own also, but this is your stage. I'm like, wow, so like your pineal gland, your third eye is
mm.
tingling. Like why? Like what
Yeah,
was what it why what did you think? Like what were you like thinking it was like it was definitely decalcifying, opening up or something. Like
it
what
was
did you?
opening up. I think it was already there, like you have said. It was already there. The energy, the things that I honestly, I'm gonna say it like this. I think it was like destiny. I think it was fated. Everything is fated to a certain point. So I feel like it was meant to happen in there that I started to open up, I guess, my third eye, and then from there my spirituality came in right after.
Wow, see, that's so beautiful because like the whatever you want to say, Takasala, God, the universe, the energy, like the creator, like takes us to our point, to our rockiest bottoms, and
Yeah,
it's
that was
like
my bottom.
it's
That
like hey, right here you go, Izzy. Boom, 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 boom. I'll see you. I'll see you later, Dallas. Here we are. What 4 or 5 years later on a freaking podcast, and talking about it, laughing, and
yeah,
with you now legally being able to go back, with the chance and yeah, I'm freaking I've never made a GoFundMe in my life, so I made this. I'm putting it out there, but that's not the point of this podcast. It'll be out there. I'll put it in the comments. Um, but point is how you stepped into your power because we've been communicating around since like the 2000s, early before 2020, whatever. And it's like I believe here's my perspective. You used to have for the longest time a picture on your profile of you hugging this tree when you were younger. And I don't know why you had that because obviously you said you had this connection. You know, there's like the green elephant and the whole like rave theme party stuff and all that or whatever, but like there's like, tree hugging, like, but you weren't really into all that yet, right? You're just like, I'm just gonna put this as my profile. It's like the universe or whatever, Takashila God, what the creator, great spirit saw that, and it was like, this is a chosen one. This is a starseed. This is however you want to call her. This is the Zodiac Enchantress. We're gonna. You don't even know what you're doing by hugging that tree, but I'm gonna have to tear you down a little bit to build you into your power, right? That's how I see it. And like you've had my back in situations like for me personally, like when I was in Mexico and there was points where you would just hit me up and I'd be like, thank God, dude, because like I was in my head, I was lost down there, and I was down there for 3 months and by myself, not knowing the language fully. Like
mm,
Spanglish sucks. you know, so like thank you for that. And your readings and stuff really helped guide me many times. Like I would always reach out to you for readings, even at the very start when you started. Um,
I started in 2020, November of 2020. I started reading, and I just did it like just because.
just like out of nowhere, like I'm just gonna get a tarot deck and see what happens or what.
Yeah, I had been watching like YouTube videos, like tarot YouTube videos, and I was just like, wow, I really love the way these people talk. I love the way they express themselves. I love the way that they're able to channel. I've never been into this. I always thought that tarot and magic and all that stuff was like the devil type of
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah, they'll demonize that, right? You totally.
And my mom, like, she's Christian, so she would always be like, no, don't touch that stuff. And I was like, okay. And I was always kind of scared. I'm gonna be honest. I was always scared of that because for some reason I believed in it like hard. I was like, I know tarot has power. I know
Right.
like I know spell work has power. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't. And I think maybe it was because I wasn't ready to be part of it yet.
Well, you know what's funny for me? Like when I was in Funky Town, like and the jail in Fort Worth, like I said, I played with the Bible like a tarot card. That's my thing. Like I would just
I
flip
would
to a
too.
page.
Too.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
open the Bible and be like, God, what is your message for me today?
Right,
Guidance, because
right.
I was lost. And I would open it and I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? I would do it. I would do it too.
So we got K-Bob said I want to read. We're gonna have a collective reading, a tarot reading at the end. So stick around, stick around. It's gonna go down. That's so funny you did that too, though, because like it's almost the same thing. Like Christianity, they talk about like the Eucharist and the sacrifice and this and that. The wine and the body of Christ, the blood and the bread. It's like it's no different than anything that's coming from an oracle, like the beauty that I read from this the temple oracle. Like the body is a temple, and you're offering your wisdom, your vulnerable, freaking most darkest stories to the world right now, and you're speaking your truth. That there's so many women out there, especially women and men, that are opening up that get to hear
Yeah.
this because of you, dude. And like and so like through the power of and love of Christ, of course, like tarot is not a devil or demonized. It's all energy. We all know it's all energy. It's how we use it. So you know, I honor that. You took that route. It being especially running the family. I was baptized Catholic when I was a kid, so like I get that. Like you know, I always knew there was something there,
Yeah.
but no. I was told like that's the devil's work. The devil is just energy. It's how we use it. So like, you know, what's the intention? What are we connecting with? Like, you know, I burned sage in honor and protection of the Lakota Native indigenous land before the church was even here. They were using this, which has scientific facts that cleanses the air particles to
Actually,
protect us.
it actually cleanses the any type of like particles or like not dirt, but like it cleanses germs. There we go. So if you're kind of like sick or if the room is very heavy with like heavy particles, that cleanses germs scientifically.
Exactly. Well said.
It helps your in a way to breathe better, to feel lighter, because if let's pretend your room has a lot of maybe like I don't know, maybe it's just like feeling heavy, like that actually will come in and lighten it up.
Nice, well said, man. And like it's like that goes into a whole other rabbit hole of smudging and indigenous natives not being able to practice what they practice because of colonization and then the conquistadors. But as we all come together and unionize, that you know, love is it's all love and it's well intentionally done. We can feel that before anything, before any words are spoken. So I love how you stepped into your power through getting deported from Texas, going to school there, going freaking like how high school, right?
Yeah.
Going to high school there, so like getting deported, not understanding why, and then stepping into your power, like almost knowing it's already there, but being a leader before you even knew you were a leader, and that's in the prayer groups, in the cages, and on the way through the jails, through the immigration boot camps, through this and that, and here you arrive in Mexico, and now you, what does Izzy do? Like, where do I go if I was Izzy? What the, you know, like it's a whole nother world down there. I just got back for 3 months. Stuff.
Yeah,
I see
it's
it's
a
like
whole nother world over here. And if you're not used to it, if you've never lived here, if you've never experienced Mexico for more than a month or a week, you would not be like, you would not be able to get used to it right away. It would take a while for you to be like, oh, so this is how you do things. This is how you live. And this is how people live. This is how
mm-hmm.
it is. It's a whole different world. That's why it's called a third world country. It is nowhere near how the US runs. And I had to get used to a lot of things that I wasn't used to, especially with the food and like the water. And then from there, the people, the culture, and how they speak. And I'm like, I'm still considered a pocha, which is someone that lived in the U.S. and then comes back to Mexico, like someone that's technically raised over there. So I'm still considered that here because the moment I talk in Spanish, they are like, "You're not from here, right?" And I'm like, "No." They hear my accent, and it's a strong accent because my voice is in a way Americanized. So it is weird for me to still be like here, and I guess I haven't changed my voice, and that they automatically know that I'm not from here. And it's difficult because sometimes I'm like, I don't like to be putting labels on myself, but
Mm.
they do put a label on me.
Yeah. So I mean, you were trained? Did your parents teach you Espanol when you were a kid, or did you have to learn it more later?
I actually learned it like family.
Oh, so you
I,
got blessed a little
I
bit
went to
early.
school here like what kindergarten and then the first grade. So I only went to school 2 years here in Mexico, and then I went to the U.S. and then the rest of my school was over there.
Oh, so you basically after first grade, you went all the way until then. Okay, till you came back. Wow, that's that's so
So
wild.
English is not the best either. Like I pronounce things wrong. I say things wrong. I I I speak a lot in like how I learned with my family, like over there. So when I say some things, they're like, that's not how you say it, or that's not how you pronounce it. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, how do you say it? So I'm over here relearning Spanish because I literally just learned the slang version.
Right,
And
right.
and then outside of Spanish, I have Spanglish too. So I'm here talking English and Spanish at the same time, and people that don't understand, they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I have to say it in Spanish. So I'm like, "It's hell." I have to repeat
It's
sometimes. Yeah.
and that's what I noticed when I was down there for 3 months. It was like
Papa.
I my Spanglish is like it's horrible because I learned it in construction. You
Mhm.
got blessed. That's the beauty of at least going to a couple grades in like kindergarten and first in Mexico is you get to learn as a child, as a young developer brain, Espanol, and like so I get down there and I'm speaking construction Spanglish from
Yeah.
Texas. Like they're
Mhm.
like, what gringo? Like what are you
Yeah.
saying? Like
Right
it's
away.
like I kind of understand where you're coming from, but you did have a little bit going on for you that you did learn when you were a child, and a
Mhm.
huge gap because it's like I don't know how much you spoke between then and before deporting. Um, so that is a culture shock within a culture shock, and regreso return back to Mexico. Um,
But I was culture shocked. I was. The moment I stepped into like the Mexican land, I was like, "What the f is this?" I was just like, "Oh my god, this is not what I was expecting." I haven't been to Mexico since I was like 6, 7 years old. So imagine you coming back and you're like, "What? Like this is not what I was expecting." I was in culture shock for like, I think a few months. A few months. It
oh,
took like get the hang of it, like that. This is how it is.
I could totally see that, man, and like especially like as a child's mind, back then you're just like everything's Wonderland, woo, 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 like everything's you're Disneyland when you're a kid, but like, um, it's like now you gotta like, okay, we don't have Tanaka, we don't have water fresh, like we have to go get a gyrofoam every five
I was
days,
like,
like.
the first thing I had to learn was if you wanted to shower with hot water, you had to turn on the boiler, and I'm like, I've never used a damn boiler in my life. And how do you turn one? Like I was used to going to like the shower and just the hot and the cold, and it would come out
Wait,
automatically.
wait, wait.
But yeah, it was like, why do I have to do this? Why? This is
You have
so
to
annoying.
go turn. You're talking about the big metal boilers,
Yeah,
yeah,
the ones that have the gas, so it heats
yeah,
water.
mm,
You have to heat the water first and then you shower. So
yeah.
till this,
I
that is one thing that I just find annoying because I'm like, I need to shower right now, but I can't because I have to turn on the boiler and then wait for it like 15 minutes and then I can shower.
right, right. It's like a get better get used to cold plunging every morning real quick.
Mhm.
Man,
And then
so
the money, I was like, what is this coin? And what is this coin? And what is this like dollar? What is this peso? Like what? I don't understand the currency. So I was just like, there's a bunch of random colors, there's a bunch of random bills. I don't know what they mean. I just know that I want a Coke or that I want the chips or that I want a sandwich. Like, how much is it? This, you know, here you go. And they're like, you gave me a lot. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
oh
I
man,
was just like, I missed the dollars. I missed the 50 cents, like the stuff that you're used to. And I was like, it took me a while to get used to like the currency here financially.
oh yeah, I bet. Like, I can totally relate to that because they'll say it real fast too, especially when you're relearning Spanish like from a childhood's memory, and it's like, wait, what'd you say? Like, Coke is $50? No, it's 50 pesos. It's
Yeah,
actually
they're like, it's
actually
10,
20.
it's like 50 pesos. Yeah. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Like, that's crazy. Like,
It's just $2. Dead
that's
out.
got to be, yeah, right. And it's like $2. Like, it's difficult to get used to. Totally understand that. But in your situation, it's like, dang, like you had no choice, and you still took it, and as a challenge, right? And you did it, and you
I had
freaking
stories.
bossed up and handled it, and you made yourself a life and owned up to what the cards that were dealt. The one card that you had to take, which was the ice bus deporting down there to Mexico, and you made a beautiful glorious like perspective to me. Like, you didn't take the victim, you didn't play self-pity, you didn't say poor me, like you just saw it as a gift, which
I,
most
I mean, I did see it as poor me because in reality it was a poor me situation. But how long do you engage in that story before you're like, I don't want to be that anymore? I I felt like a victim for like 2 years. So
mm,
2019, I felt like a victim. I felt angry. I
um,
felt very hurt by everything, like the universe, God.
mm,
I felt like I failed myself. I failed my
uh,
family. I failed my mother. I felt extremely heavy emotions that I was like, how the hell am I going to get out of this regret? The thing that weighed the most was regret. It wasn't me like losing my clothes, my car. I lost my car, by the way. It was
yeah,
losing my job that I finally had a good job that I loved. It wasn't me
mm,
leaving my friends behind. What weighted the most in that way was regret to not have had a good relationship with my mother, to not have hugged my brothers more, to
oh
not have
man,
spent Christmas with them, to not have spent New Year's with them. That was my biggest, in a way, punishment for me. And I was just like, if I don't let this go, this feeling of regret, it's going to consume me to the point that I'm going to start destroying myself all over again. That's the reason I got deported. I have problems with self destructive tendencies when I get upset or when I'm hurt or when I'm sad. So, how do I heal from this when now I don't have my family? I don't have my brothers. I don't have my mom. I don't have my friends. I don't have nothing. How? And I just kept asking, like, I would literally ask, like, God, like, please help me. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to navigate my emotions. I don't know how to see life in a positive way. Because for all I know, it's all I keep remembering is the last time I saw my mom. She looked at me like, oh, there she goes. She goes out. She's going out again when I told her not to. And I just looked at her and I'm like, I'll be back. Like, don't worry, you know? And that
mm-hmm.
and I didn't return. So I'm just like I was just like, damn, like I'm sorry. And I just kept saying this over and over, like, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to be a good person in that timeline. But I know that everything happens for a reason. And I know that this is not punishment. This is a moment of healing and a moment of rediscovering who I am outside of my family, outside of my identity, outside of everything that I grew up in the US.
Wow, wow, that's so deep, that's so emotionally like intelligent, and so like that point where you realize that there has to be a lot of perseverance, a lot of action, self-awareness, self-love, self-compassion. So, you said you started turning the tarot, and is that what you did work next, or like what?
Well, I didn't go to tarot like first. I think I went to, in a way, to God. But
Right.
the way that I was trying to connect was kind of like, guide me, like please guide me because I don't know. So it's almost like they answered, and they answered through people. They answered through things. I had a roommate when I was here, and she also got deported. So we became like besties because we're like, okay,
Mhm.
we were there at the same place. Blah, blah, blah. And she was like, look, I am learning about astrology. Do you want to learn? I'm like, what is that? And she was like, put in your name, put this. I started to search up like the birth charts, and I was like, oh my god, like what is this? I've never seen this. And she was like, I don't know, but it's interesting, let's compare it and blah blah blah. We were obsessed with like the whole birth chart stuff, that we were like up all night just researching everything. And it was so awesome because I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, no wonder I'm like this, or no wonder I have these traits. And we were just so excited. And from there, we went into like the tarot messages on YouTube. And then from the messages, there was a little candle shop that opened up like by where I live. And I was looking at the candles and I'm like, I just feel like I should get 3 candles, white ones, and offer them to them. And I'm pretty sure that they're gonna guide me. And
Wow.
this was
And three. That's funny.
yeah.
Three. Yeah. That goes just deep in those kind of ways. So keep going. Though. Keep going.
So I bought these candles on November. I remember like everything so clear. I bought them on November, and that was the last time that I cried. Like heavily, like like heavily. That was the last time that I cried, because that was the first and the last time that I asked to be like released from all the pain that I felt in the past 2 years, which was 2018, 2019. So by December, funny enough, by December, we're about to end 2019, entering 2020. I started to receive more messages. I started to receive like the astrology. And then me and her, we were like always together. So we would be reading, we would be doing this, we were doing like the astrology, like we were getting on the computer. And I felt happier and I felt more at peace because I was like, well, I'm doing this now. I'm so happy that I'm learning. By when 2020 started, we both moved out. And that was the first time that I was like, oh shit, I have to figure out what I'm going to do here if I'm going to stay here. So we moved out, and then we kind of split. And then that's when I started to realize, if I'm going to live here, I have to make money, and I have to do this, and I have to get this and this and a job. I applied for a job, and then this and that. So it's like all these things that I wasn't doing started to be put in my path, so I could be active, so I could meet people, so I could connect. I was still doing astrology. I got heavily into it so much. And then from there, the candles, I started researching like candle magic. And then from there, like witchy stuff. And it was
Mm,
like a whole door opened up,
nice.
a gigantic door of
What
spirituality and like magic and gifts and Christian.
was that? What was that word you said? Any antic? What'd you say?
A what?
What kind of door opened up?
A gigantic
Uh,
spirituality door.
oh, okay. I thought you said something like super esoteric word. It definitely came across. I received it that way. It was like
Oh,
esoteric and gigantic. It's funny to me though because like Jesus was fascinated with the stars and the zodiac too, and they say the Bible is actually a book written about the zodiac. And here you are as a leader back and the camps and stuff and getting deported on the ice adventure back to Mexico, being a leader with the Bible, just like Jesus was, turned into 3 candles, 369, the
yeah.
law, the laws that connect metaphysically, codes in the universe. Not even knowing yet that you just
Oh,
chose 3 white candles, and they use white in Christianity a lot with the angelic realms. So here you are, it's just like opening and unfolding your magic for you. It's such a beautiful story, and and it's like God or Creator, Great Spirit, whatever, placed your friend that understood what you went. There's only that friend was the only person that understood what you went through. Nobody else in Mexico could understand that unless they were on that bus with you, right?
exactly.
That is, thank bless whoever that was, bless her, thank her. I'm
I
so
do.
grateful.
We're no longer friends because, again, there are certain connections you have to end, right? But
Right.
that moment when I just was starting to experience all of this, she was the only one that I'm like, you understand what I'm feeling because you went through it too. She had kids. I don't have kids. So she left her kids over there, and then she would cry a lot. And I'm like, I know that we're here together because we're the only ones that could understand what we went through. And we would be like a support system to each other. And then we would tell other people, they wouldn't get it, you know? So I think the time I spent with her was very sacred. I feel like she was like a soul sister. Um,
Mm.
but eventually, like any other person that you run your course with, you have to leave them and they go on their path and you go on yours, which reminds me of Wicked, you know. You have to split and you have to live your own life away from them. She still lives here and she's with someone and she's like doing her life, but I'm like, that timeline of me needing you in that moment no longer exists. I spend my time alone at least like 90%, and I'm good with my solitude. Sometimes it can get a little bit depressing, but only because
Mm.
I start to miss like the family energy, like being with family. But I've learned to embrace like being by myself, doing things by myself, working by myself, coming home to myself, eating by myself, and
Right.
I love it because I've never experienced this type of peace where I don't have to wait on someone to be happy.
Right, that's a, so like that was a blessing in disguise that she left, because you look at any great leader like Buddha or Jesus or 40 days and 40 nights, you know, the Buddha goes up to the mountains in 40 days, 40 nights and meditates. Any great like guru or this or that or whatever has a similar story of solitude that must be we must seek as a person in these ways, and you kind of just happened naturally for you. And you know, I get that solitude is something to honor. It's like, yeah, it can be lonely at times, but it's like being okay with yourself. It really shows you like that, hey, I gotta have me first and foremost under the spirit, the highest or most high, whatever you want to call it. If I can't trust myself and great spirit, you call it God, whatever, then I will not be okay in any room I go in. So like solitude was like a gift in disguise for you, huh?
I
Um,
I heal tremendously alone, especially emotionally. I heal a lot when I'm alone. When I am with people, I get distracted. Therefore,
yeah.
I'm avoiding my emotions. So, guess what? Guess why I was so popular and so like always going out in Texas because I did not want to feel anything.
Oh, I get that. I was the same way, you know. It's like, let me call this person, this just so
I
I can distract.
My phone would ring. My phone would pop up with messages. Hey, what are you doing tonight? Friday night, I already had plans like from Wednesday. Like it was already set up. Saturday, let's go to the club. Let's go to this place. Let's go to this. Sunday, let's go to the church. Let's go to this. Monday, I'm working, but I'm bored. So yeah, let's go get some drinks at Chili's or Applebee's. I was never home. I was always avoiding my emotions because I felt like crap. So I was like, please don't let me be by myself. I don't like it. And now I'm like, please let me be by myself because I do like my solitude. I like my company. So I'll make time. I'll make time to see you.
Right. I feel that it's like don't disturb the peace type of thing. Like for me, I've created that solitude over here also, and it's like you know, like I'll see you when I see you. Like it's not like like I love you from a distance type of thing. Like respect you from a distance,
Yes.
but like
Since
there's things I'm doing internally that like I can't have energetically distractions,
yes.
especially like phones. Like I'll put my phone on silent mode just because it's like because that's a huge distraction.
Mhm. I
But
love it.
yeah,
I love my phone. I'm
I
addicted
know,
to it. But
I know that's the thing. It's like it's the love hate relationship against the
mhm.
phone.
But you
Um,
can put like you can turn it off when you feel overwhelmed or when you're like enough, you know?
oh yeah, I have it on silent mode right now. I don't care who it is, and no one's getting in the way of this connection of what we're creating here on this
Yep.
platform because it is sacred
Mhm.
and very well respected. Um,
Look how he put himself.
Si lo gato, gata, is here, boy or girl?
Boy.
Gato, gatito.
Has the whole bed, and he chooses to like be right here.
That's because you have that energy, man.
Like,
Animals
can you
know.
over there, please?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know where my dog is, but she's outside. Yeah, that animals will tell you right away.
Yeah.
That's well known indigenously and energetically and scientifically, that you have created good peace in the solitude, and that allows you to be what I've experienced you as a mediumship and the universe and to the other dimensions of la vida and life and esoterically and metaphysical and like that's why I'll reach out to a Zodiac Enchantress for a tarot reading when I can't figure out this monkey brain, and you'll be like, I'm like, dang, dude, thank you so much. Like how I can't. I've reached out to you many times, like for readings since you started doing that, and like really, it's you or one other person. Mandy Valadez, she's on a one other episode. I've reached out to her a couple of times, but like it's usually you. Um, and there's something a gift that you have, and like we were talking about, I don't like labels either. But when you go into mediumship, you become Zodiac Enchantress, and you are downloading information that allows people to heal themselves, to save themselves from situations that may be toxic or vulnerable to negative energies and or destructive behavior. Like I'm talking for myself, for
Mhm.
me, like you, this has helped me through your readings, and uh such a fucking beautiful story to get to where you're at, man. And I would love to see you get back to Dallas, reconnect with Mama and Familia and stuff. But
We
do you
we
think
we
do you
will.
do you
Everything
think do
timing.
you yeah, divine timing. Do you think it's time at 122? What do we do? Should you can we do a collective reading of some sort, of just like a reading?
Yes. Yes.
Bless up. Thank you so much. Gracias.
Now let me
Uh,
cat on the table though, because I can't use. Papa, go over to the papa. All right.
El Gasto wants to be a part of the process, right?
I know. Sleep. Go to sleep. You don't have to be in the table. You have the whole bed. I swear.
Just
He
because
is.
you have,
He is an angel. He is an angel that was given to me by God.
mm, I get that. I get that with my dog. She's saved me from so many. Been the best excuse. Like, hey, you after work or something, let's go to the bar and get up, man. Like, no, I gotta go feed my dog.
Yeah.
That's the best excuse ever, man. And everyone watching who's heard that now, you know my excuse. I have to come up with a new one. But no, I don't drink anymore like that. So like, and neither do you, which is I honor you for that.
I'm actually 1 year.
One
1 year
year,
and like what? June, July. Uh, July.
dang. So like almost like
A year and a half. I've been a year and a half sober. So weird.
from alcohol. That's what's up.
Yeah.
And so they use alcohol, and a lot of my I know other people. I'm not gonna speak their stuff, but like in Mayan ceremonies, like because alcohol means spirit, right? Alcohol is a spirit, so they'll use alcohol in many indigenous forms of healing, and to go and to remove to contact spirits to remove stuff. And people I've known that have had addictions using but will still use alcohol in ceremonies but not drink it, but they'll use it for to connecting. That's a whole nother level. So I don't know if you do ever use that stuff, or you just don't drink it, or no.
No, I don't drink it. I have thought about it like for like ceremonies, but I'm like, nah. I just don't. I don't think I'm there yet.
Right, it's powerful, man. Because like I remember I did a ceremony like when I regreso when I returned from Mexico. I did I needed yo necesito like bad, dude, like a ceremony because I could not stand the way America USA was operating energetically and just the shift of like everything. So I called out me, her mom, my sister, my homegirl. Like I called her out. I was like, I need a ceremony and like. And when I didn't expect this comedy, she goes and and spits alcohol in my face, and I'm like, I've never been so grateful, and I don't, and I hate, I despise drinking alcohol because it's brought me into many things, but I've never been so grateful to be spit in the face with alcohol before in my life.
That's an actual cleanse. When
You-
people spit on you, spit the alcohol, that they're cleansing your energy, your aura. That would be considered like a traditional cleanse, limpia. Um,
Limpia, yeah.
and those are, I think, from what I've known, it would be like santeros that do that type of cleanse.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what they claimed to be, but it was Olympia's, and they claimed that there was a spirit that left me, and I know what it was because I had contacted on it, Dios de los Muertos and Day of the Dead. I had seen it and it had been with me since Texas, since I was back there like 10 years ago or whatever, like
Hmm.
5 years ago. They all in there, and like, and I know what it was, and it took 3 times, and I honor that spirit. I love that spirit, but I don't need anything from that spirit, and I'm grateful for that spirit's lessons. It was so powerful. But yeah, I found out through these people that you can still access that energy without using alcohol. You can use the tarot decks. We can meditate and integrate through practice of our own internal understandings. So I'm super grateful that you're opening your wisdom and your medicine and you're sharing your tarot, which like usually I will pay you for a tarot reading, like whatever kind of reading it is. I pay you, right,
Yeah.
through Cash App or whatever,
Mhm.
whatever it is. Like, and you're doing this right now, just para with the love like, from con todo corazón, like, and like I honor that. Um, for a higher purpose, whatever you are doing it for, I thank you so much because this your readings are amazing.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Um, but yeah. So I don't even know like what, I don't know if you want me to do like a general or like you want me to just.
Yeah, just what's most simple like just a general reading like that, like anybody could collectively tap in if they want, and if they whoever's listening on the replay or right now or later, like if God, spirit, whatever you believe in, Cristo, like with the love of Christ, like whatever it is, will however you can receive it, they will receive it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all positive energy. It's all from the heart, and I believe the intentions are set for me purely and organically and cleansed with the sage and the way of the Lakota native. For me, my side I received through Great Spirit. So, as you wish.
All right. So funny enough, I'm gonna be sincere. I think this reading is a little bit interesting because, in a way, I kind of see it like for me.
Okay, let's send it
I'm
then.
serious because this is the way they came out. I'm like, But if this is collective, then this will resonate for people who are in alignment with the energy, right?
Right, right.
We'll see. So the first card that came out was the Five of Wands.
Okay.
That was a little intense right there. I was like, why is that there? But then we got the Six of Wands right next to it. I want you
Six
to
and
see the
five.
contrast of both cards.
Why? Why? What's going on in there? Is that a okay? I see. Oh, look at there's little gatos in there. No, little
Yeah,
kitties.
they're like hissing at each other.
What? That one would pull the five with a
And then
cat.
look at this one.
Purple, red. Whoa. Okay, I've seen so much. Okay, so what does that mean to you?
So I feel like for whomever I guess is listening, whomever's kind of dealing with this situation as well, it's almost giving me like all the people that have been against you, that have been trying to talk down on you, trying to bring you down. All those energies, all the words, all the people, that's going to turn into victory,
Mm,
success. I'm also getting applause. So it's like the energy is shifting from gossip, drama, competition, negativity, people going against you to success, recognition, rewards, and just you being in your power, where you're like, I'm no longer part of this collective, I'm part of this other collective. And on this other collective, there's a more lighter energy where you are able to walk and people recognize you for what you are.
yes, yes. What you are, not like how you appear, not how the judgments of what you've been, what you've done, who you've harmed, what you know, like I've harmed a lot of people. That's how I'm receiving it. Keep going though, like you know, I've made my amends. I've been through those programs. If there's anybody else, you know, they'll show up and corrective measures. Uh, I see why that would hit for you though,
It's
especially.
weird. I'm not gonna lie. I when I do collectives, I don't really identify with the cards unless I'm like feeling it. But I'm like, this looks like it's written type of vibe.
Yeah, yeah, like
Good. We have the magician came out next.
no, the alchemist, the magician. Yeah, dude. Wait. Can I see that one again?
Yeah.
It what? There's another. Okay, there's a cat, and
Wait.
it's
So
there's the laid down the swords.
there's
Yes,
the
the
chalice.
cup,
Is that how you
the
say chalice?
calice. Yeah, with is that the heart glowing?
Yep.
Like
The is
almost like Jesus's heart chakra glowing or something. Wait, okay, wow. The swords laid down. The weapons are laid down. It's pure alchemy. Oh, that's what I've been saying that lately, like the Deftones song. Lay down your knives, lay down your swords. You know what I mean? Like, wow, okay, what is this? Like everyone's celebrating together and like some magical castle with gatos again.
yes. And then look, the last card is the Empress. No joke.
That is freaking you. And is there a dog in there now?
Huh?
Is there a dog in that one?
Yes. There's a dog and there's a cat too. Right here.
Wait, no, dude. That's like okay. I gotta bring my dog in here for this one. What the heck? That is wild. Okay, so there's so much going on. I received
Like
a lot.
all I can say from the last three cards is with the Magician, the Four of Wands, and the Empress. It's giving me like this new revelation, this new path, this new energy that's going to start because it's something that's going to start because the first thing that was needed was the energy shift.
Yeah,
Now that we're
12/12 portal happened yesterday, right? And
here on the other side, I feel like a lot of good things are going to come in. Stability, rejoicing, cheering, celebrating. There's going to be celebrations. Holy smokes.
nice.
But there's going to be
I
celebrations
celebrate that.
there. There's gonna be like a lighter energy where I feel like if you have been struggling with the past, it's like that story again, it connects that story, that situation, that theme. It's no longer gonna be who you are. I see a more of like now you're able to manifest, now you're able to create, now you're able to use your inner magic to really bring in together the right people in your life, the right energies, the right experiences to grow. The Empress is
Mm,
the last card. She gives birth to life. She gives birth to new ideas and even to babies and children. So it's almost like a new energy, a new era is starting. But this energy is more softer. It's more
yeah.
sacred. And at the same time, it's like sharing with others what you have.
Wow, that's beautiful because you are a doula of many sorts, and you just explained that. I mean, I this is reading is just so massive for me. I don't even want to dive into all of it. I hope anybody could. I mean, I just wrote a book on freaking alchemy. You know what I'm saying? And the alchemist shows up. I'm like, wait, it would show up like that. Um, that is so, and like the masculine. I feel like the masculine in me, especially, I've been told by some people that I need to work on my masculine. I've been trying doing my best to work on that energy. Um, like to that point where like the masculine population of men or people who identify masculinity, even women, like the softness of it is coming, and it's more of a power, like the etherealness of it. It's like it's not like how hard can you hit with the hammer? Who hits the hardest, it wins. If the competition,
Yeah,
yeah, dude. Like I mean, that did just hit hard.
message for you.
Yeah, man, because that's what I've been working on now. That's it.
No,
And
I pulled out for you. So
gracias. Thank you so much.
you got the Knight of Pentacles.
What does that mean? That it's like okay, I see Peter Pan on a flat. Oh my God, dude, you don't even know what that Nine Pinnacles means. Ah,
And then
what?
and then you got the Nine of Cups. Look at that.
Oh, dude, you already
Well,
know what's going down.
hold up.
What?
The first message I got was like a wish coming true, or wishes coming true, or your wishes, like whatever you have been wishing to bring, to manifest, to experience, like you're gonna have that. And the Knight of Pentacles is a knight that is on his horse. On the traditional Rider White is he's on a horse, but he already has movement. Usually the pentacles on tarot, they are the slowest of the energy, like the slowest, like it takes a long time for them to do things, a long time for them to make the plans. The Knight of Pentacles, he's already on his way with his pentacle to his destination. I'm getting strongly here, like you're already picking up energy, you're already creating movement. The movement is very slow, but it's strong. It's very strong because it's being created with a lot of like careful thoughts, with
Oh, okay.
stability, with grounding. So it's almost like you're already moving that dream, or you're moving that wish, or you're moving that desire. You're moving it in a slow, careful way, but it's creating energy and momentum where now you're going to start to see in the near future more of this energy come in.
Yes, please, more beach energy. Ay, ay. No, for real, but that Peter Pan card or whatever, those feet pretty. Yes, ay. That's what I'm talking about. You already know that's. Oh my gosh! See, this is why I call Zodiac Enchantress. I hit her up on her Zodiac Enchantress page, which I will post in there in the DMs or something. I mean, in the comments on my page too. This is why I contact her because it is 100% clarity, claro, like it's like this. I want to speak in Spanish because I already know where I'm going, and like the thing is, it's like you're telling me like tranquilo, like slow, like it needs to be slow, and that's my thing. I come from a culture of like I'm a G, like get it done, boom, hustle culture, bam, now get it, go, but
Yes.
like slow down. I have impatience and I know I gotta be slow. I've gotta be like I've gotta be triple layered like step. three steps back before I even make a decision. Slow, like I'm almost like sit down before you walk, and take a look at the scenery. Um, that's so deep. Thank you, dude.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I
So
pulled I pulled two for me, and funny enough, they both came together. And I think this is something that it's very obvious. Look at my
yeah. Wait, let me see. What's that?
three of swords.
Okay. And you pulled three candles. Ah, shut up, dude. Hey, we're both gonna end up on the beach. What?
I hope. I
That
hope
would be sick.
want
But you,
I've been wanting to go to the beach since 2019, since I got the astrology stuff. And I was like, I would love to just be on the bus and go to the beach. But then 2020 happened, like the pandemic. And then after that, it was just kind of messy. But I'm like, I really want to go. But outside of the beach energy, this is the world. The world. And if you look at it, it's like moving energies, new
the water's cleansing,
new
and
a new path, moving, traveling, completion of a cycle.
oh yes,
Amen.
that's you, man.
And
Wow,
I
amen. Yeah.
feel it. I'm like, I'm ready for something more. I'm ready for other things. I'm not gonna be just doing tarot and spell work forever. I'm not. I get bored of my limitations. I start to crave more. So I'm like, I would like to travel, or I would like to study. I would like to increase what I already have and make it bigger. And I'm just like, whatever is meant for me, I will eventually start taking action on it. Because to a certain extent, what I do now, it's kind of comfortable now.
Right, right. That's what they say. Like when you get in a state of comfortability, like you lose creativity, and or it's like that's when
Yeah.
you need to level up.
Yes.
And I totally get that. Sheesh, maybe like that means like you need to take a trip to like the Cancun or over on that side
I
or
hope.
something.
I hope so. I
It's
hope
I don't know, dude.
I
I
see.
don't know how far you are from the beach, but
It's like by bus, it's like 24 hours. By airplane, it's like 3 hours. But it
oh dang, so you're in mass middle, yeah,
I'm a,
medial.
but
Um, but yeah, so I mean, like the same time, like reconnecting with familia and all that, and dude, I what a that's the celebration. I think I could see that celebration for you. Like, if you get the chance to reconnect with your mom and get your visa or however that process happens, and and that, like you said, to get to hug, whatever it's brothers, cousins, sisters, get to show them that energy in person, like that changed you. And that's that celebration that came before those cards for you that I saw, and like,
I just
whew,
think that they don't know me anymore, and they just have this image of me of how I used to be. But to be honest, me going back to Texas, to the US in general, they don't know me. They don't know who I am. They don't know this new version of me. I am not the same person when I left. And it's like I upgraded in so many ways that even if they were to be like, oh, you used to do this, I'm like, it doesn't vibe with me anymore, you know?
y-
My essence is the same. I'm still silly. I'm still like, yeah, let's, be just, whatever. But my mind, it's just in a whole different way. And I think my family is going to have a little bit of a hard time understanding that I don't function the way I used to.
I get that from a 5D level to. Well, I mean, somewhat. You said your mom's a Christian,
Yeah, she's
so
open now. Before she wasn't, but now she's more open to a lot of things. She knows what I do. She knows that I do this for a living, and she's aware, and she doesn't criticize me.
beautiful,
She accepts me, which is
nice.
a reason that, again, going back to the beginning, the reason I did not call her when I was in jail was because I was so scared of her. I was so scared of her shaming me, of her telling me, like, I told you so. I was so scared of her judgment
Mm-hmm.
because my relationship with her at that level was horrible. We had like a non existent relationship. It
Oh, I know.
taken 6 years to work on my
Yep.
connection with my mom to be okay. And we still struggle sometimes. We still have very difficult conversations over the phone, and it feels like it's never going to end, but in reality we have already overcome a lot of the things that destroyed our connection. And I can say it now, like, my mom is very different from me. She's an Aquarius, I'm an Aries.
Hey, same, same. I mean, I'm mad Aquarius from family.
I like
Aries, Aries, fire, fire,
Damn,
yo.
she's something else. She's like a very karmic Aquarius. She's like the last deacon. So she has like that very like Saturn heavy energy, and that transferred to me. So I'm like, I know that you had a hard life. I know that you had to like fight for your freedom, and I know that you had to work at a young age and that you were poor. I understand, but to a certain extent, I did not live that. You did. So why are you treating me like that? Get me? So it took
Mm.
6 years for me and my mom to kind of understand with the separation that we both need each other instead of going against each other.
Yeah, because here you are, like fully rejuvenated, and the new you has arrived. You are here helping people. You are here being a light worker of many varieties of labels, and I personally have experienced it. I just witnessed it. I synced it now, and it is like it's made me it made me laugh. You made me happy. You made me see some visions in life that already are slowly manifesting. It helped me.
Interesting.
It helped me like motivate me that those cards, yeah, it helped motivate me that like I am on the right track, no matter what anybody says. There's one person in my family that did say go do those things, go, and I know what I'm doing, and sometimes it may take that one person to put self doubt in you, and that's where Zodiac Enchantress gets called, and these ways are very honored, with the love of Christ, with the peacefulness of Buddha, with the generosity of Takashala and the Lakota Nation. Like anyway, received that is just the compassion and love and light and beauty. That's how I see it. It's not demonized to me.
Mhm.
And thank you. And I hope that helps a lot of people out there. Also, this has been a wonderful episode, dude. Like. It,
Glad. I'm glad that we got to share in general like this time, and that we were able to connect. At the end of the day, I just believe that, the more that we can put ourselves out there, the more that we're doing a service to ourselves and others.
right, because that allowed did this allowed you, I mean I gotta ask you at least this allowed you to get vulnerable to like a mass audience, which I couldn't even imagine the scales that are being shedded off of your just your human and your energetical path and camino, like just talking it out. Like you are so fearless right now, and I honor that you just to be able to share that all that
Thanks.
that is so vulnerable, dude, and it's so freaking powerful. And thank you, gracias, gracias con gusto, con todo mi corazón, like for real, dude, with all of my heart. Um, there will be a replay for all that want to watch. Because I'll type that later or something. Who cares? We're here now. So thank you. Um, is there anything else we need to do for closing ceremony wise after reading a card? What do you do? Do you smudge, sage, or
No, I let me just tell you right now, I am very like, I'm like a chaos witch. I do things my way and I manage the energies my way. Yeah, there has been some consequences when I've read people and I go to sleep right after and then I can't sleep or I get attacked in the sleep. But I'm not here doing rituals like opening and closing. I pray when I open, but usually when I end them, I'm like, thank you, and I leave the cards and then I go to sleep or something. Or I go do other stuff. I usually sage in the morning, not at night. And then usually what I have that helps me a lot is my candles. So
Mm,
I have right now like the Virgin Mary, and then I have Archangel.
yes.
I have both candles activated. So for me, it's like I don't really need to be smudging, saging, or doing all these things all the time. I have ADHD, so my brain is like next, 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 or I'm tired. I want to go to sleep now.
Mm, look
I,
at
I
that.
work with chaos. So in a way, it's like it doesn't harm me. But for other people, I know that they have to smudge and close and this and this. For me, it's like later, you know, or I'm done. I don't have to worry because I know I have my candles, or I know that I did the prayer, or I know that I'm gonna be okay. Um,
Right, there's that conscious thought. Like for me, I don't know if you see this candle, but y'all don't know what the candle is. It's it's a higher power candle. So basically, this is, and it's crystal
I,
infused.
like my cat, it's like that he wants to get out.
I saw you go down. I know what you. So I was trying to be like, this is like a higher power candle I keep burning, and it's crystal infused. It's got some
I'm gonna show
crystals.
you my pyramid that I just activated today because I felt it. Like I've been having this pyramid since last year. And
Yeah.
I don't know why. I was like, I need that energy today. I need it to come in today, and it's always
And yo, hold up! But you remember, look at this card I pulled for you. It's freaking pyramid.
no
Like it's the temple.
busy.
Yeah, did you see it? I tried to show you. Uh,
I can't see it. Like I see.
wait,
Oh,
are you still only seeing like half of my screen?
I know. It's just the little circle is all the way over here.
Oh, okay. Can
Yeah.
you see? I, my screen's like all messed up. Yeah, so that's funny you pulled that.
Look.
Ah, what? Did you make that?
No, I bought it at a esoteric store. But it's really pretty, and it's meant to activate like the colors of the chakras and whatnot.
Yeah, look at that. I pulled that with earlier before she came on, not even talking to her, and then she had that candle lit. Call that synchronicity right there for this episode, like or whatever's going on, activating right now throughout these messages for anybody tuning in. Like this is freaking magical, and beautiful, and so ethereal and just badass, dude. I honor your time, your space. It's just very sacred. Thank you so much, dude.
Thank you for having me and for sharing also your time.
De nada, con gusto, anytime, siempre. Hey,
Thank
so
you.
yeah. I'll shout out to you earlier, later, and that's the thing when you start speaking Spanish, it's like you freaking reverse. So I'm like, I'll shout out to you earlier. I mean, later.
No,
I'll
I
send you a video link.
get in your. You're like what?
So you can have it, yeah, and then I'll repost it so anybody wants to. Izzy, the Zodiac Enchantress. I will share her link later to her professional page. Highly recommend her magic. She does much more than tarot.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna drop a couple links in there and the comments, and bless up. You have a buenas noches, like a marvelous evening, you
That's
know. Yeah, you already know. So this is us checking out. Thank you. Peace.
thanks.
And nada, later.
Bye.